Loki, before I end up going to bed tonight, man, I'm gonna lay it out. The goal. I guess I haven't really put that out on the page and everything, but I don't know, man. Like, a lot of this, it's kind of a science experiment. Well, kind of. I can't really obviously go get a muscle biopsy to figure out if, oh my god, that's some lightning. But no, I can't exactly go get a muscle biopsy to figure out whether or not, like, the claim holds weight. But part of the reason I do a lot of those lifts with a slower and more focusing on the stretch and how long I do it, and metabolic stress, and how much stress I'm under, just simply because of other factors that, all at once. All those things stacking up on top of each other and trying to limit, my protein, or not protein intake, but just my intake, so I'm having to fight harder through a little stress, and everything's a little bit, a little bit more micro tears, a little bit more stimulus, just kind of by lifting. To put it bluntly, as much as, it's a scientifically unproven topic, hyperplasia in humans. Not hypertrophy, which is normally what, makes you a little bit bigger, makes you get bigger, makes that pump. Hyperplasia. Instead of just each individual fiber getting bigger, what if you could find the perfect storm of factors that could make your fibers essentially put under so much stress that they split instead of going through hypertrophy? That's a possibility in, humans. It already happens in other certain muscle groups, and even extreme injuries with muscle tears. I mean, it's obviously, I don't want to go tear my muscle to go figure it out, but I think the time under tension to an extreme, to a lot longer per rep, on focusing on the going down, or extending, the stretch. That's where you got to put a lot of that focus. Working really hard when your muscle is at its longest, it's at its, I guess in a sense, mechanical disadvantage, where you're it is the hardest at that point. I don't know, for a bicep curl, I would rather sit closer here, where I'm not quite at the bottom of that, but I'm fighting as long and hard as possible to stay in that stretch and hold it and maintain it. Because the actual studies that they've done on animals to, I guess, kind of test hypertrophy or hyperplasia in other animals, they essentially, for birds specifically, they took them and for weeks at a time. Obviously, this is not something you'd want to do to a human, but they essentially strung them up and held their wings up with slight weights, and they kept them there weeks at a time. And when they went to measure the amount of fibers and cross-sectional area, it went up, I think, 352%. That's a lot of additional fibers. And when you think about it, then when you go through hypertrophy, each one of those fibers gets big. If you have more fibers in that cross-sectional area, you have more potential for growth, more potential to do whatever fiber it is, whether it's fast twitch or slow twitch, whatever. You have more potential for the athletic performance there. I don't know the reason why I think it's possible, but I don't know. Just some intuitive sense is there's something more to this. I just don't have all the answers yet, and I think it's worth pursuing. And that's kind of the whole focus and the whole point of why I'm training the way that I am, and staying in a absurd deficit to try to create, put all of those factors together all at once to create a literal perfect storm for. I'm trying to essentially limit hypertrophy, limit and force another option, if that makes sense. Obviously, my protein intake is very high in terms of, like, the percentage of my diet, my carb complex, all the stuff that gives energy, multivitamins, all that stuff, trying to cover the bases, and then, I don't know, burn like 2,000, 3,000 calories more than I'm eating, and man, shit, man, it's not easy, but you get used to it. Alright, that's all.